Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV, yet another episode, and finally this is what we've been waiting for. It is Club Rugby season. We are now underway. The first games kicked off on Saturday, been very exciting. Of course, the usual criminals on the panel with me, not literally, Morgan Newman.
How's it, Japes? How are you going?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, good to be back on the panel after missing last week.
Yeah, we missed you, but we didn't miss your Super Brew predictions though.
Yeah, I missed you guys too, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to give my predictions in that early.
Jerome, hoe gaan we jou?
JP, baie goed. Ek moet sê jy lyk rooi.
Ja,
Jy
soos
lyk mooi en rooi.
Rooi Willie.
Ja, soos rooi Willie, maar jy lyk mooi.
Rooi Willie was mos 'n cartoon character. Ek dink so.
Jy lyk amper soos jy.
Ja, dankie. Ja. Speaking about cartoons, Mr. H.
Why would you say that?
Well, you're quite a funny guy, and in a way, sort of like a superhero.
No, it's great to be back, and I just want to say to all the people who phoned to ask what happened to me last Wednesday, you know. I wasn't sick, I wasn't anything.
Yeah, what did happen to you, by the way?
No, I was busy with some very serious other things, you know.
Very serious other things. Well, very serious other things, I suppose, is what we're going to talk about on the show tonight. But let's first take a look at the Varsity Cup. It is now wrapped up, and of course, on Monday night, we saw Tuks with a victory over Marties. There you have it. Tuks 44 points to 5. Morgs, if I take a look at that result there, I know you played at Stellenbosch last year. You were the Marties player of the year. And everybody thought the Marties, I mean, including us, thought that Marties was going to come out guns blazing and take a victory there.
Yeah, Japes, I think that, Tuks definitely went against the grain of what everyone else was thinking. But I think, to win every single game of the tournament doesn't always work that way. So I think, if they'd lost the game, 1 or 2 league games, I think they would have stood themselves in better stead for the final. But I mean, Tuks came out and played some unbelievable rugby and taught Marties a lesson. So, I think it's testament to that side. I mean, last year they beat them in the final at Tuks' home ground, and this year they come to Stellenbosch and beat them in Stellenbosch. So definitely Marties have got they've definitely got a mental edge over the Stellenbosch side at the moment.
Jerome, your opinion? Because I don't really buy that from Morgan. I quite think simply they just got to hide him.
No, definitely JP, that Marties were nowhere. From the beginning you could see that they were nowhere in the game. And I also think that the last 2 games, they were lucky to win their games. And you could see, I think that they peaked too early. And it's like Nas used to say in the olden times, you don't win the Currie Cup in June.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because a few people said to me that they thought Tuks peaked at the right time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. It's like Tuks, they took a few hidings, but they just peaked at the right time, and everything just worked for them, and they were just really in the game, and they showed that they're never going to give up. That's their cup, and it's going to be there for them for a while.
Also, I was rather disappointed in some of the play that I saw on the field there from Tuks, because I thought they got away with quite a lot on the day. I thought they got, especially John Ross, their captain, got away with tons of no-arm tackles. I mean, Renil Hugo, who got injured, or got a little bit winded, you could see that was a blatant sort of a no-arm tackle. They managed to get away with a lot, but I still don't think Marties would have beaten them on the day.
Yeah, it's true what you say, JP, but that's actually the assistant refs or the touch judges who's supposed to call that. I think that the referee for this whole year, it's actually the first time that I think the referee was superb. He was great. He handled the game.
Of course,
he handled the game quite well. And there was nothing. Marties can't complain of anything except, like you said, a few off-the-ball things like that. But that's not the referee's fault. But they were just not in the game. Yeah,
but Marius van der Westhuizen is a great referee. We've seen him come through the club ranks, and he's been pretty good. Of course, he also managed to ref the SK Women's Belhar game. So these referees are pretty busy. Some of these guys are reffing 2-3 games in a weekend.
Yeah, no, but if you're good, then they use you. I must just say, I attended the game on Monday night, and it was quite amazing how the crowd just disappeared with the Marties on the field. I think they tried everything to the MC to get them going, but they could sense that they were not in the game.
But we spoke about this MCing at the Varsity Cup scenario before. When your team starts to lose, you better hope you've got a hell of a good DJ. I tell you something, to get that crowd going again, any MC in the world, he has to work his socks off. But that is what it's about. It is about entertainment. We have a situation there that clearly we've got a Varsity Cup event here, that a tournament that seems to be delivering the goods and is offering great entertainment to the clubs. And or at least to the fans. This is a lesson for the clubs out there.
Yeah, no, obviously. You know, if you look at the amount of people that attended just at the Craven Stadium, and you look at what happens there, and the type of rugby that's being played, it's fantastic. And the organization in itself doesn't happen by itself. It's the people that run the club, that organize, you know, all the exits, all the toilets, everything there is superbly organized.
But it is, I mean, it's from a club rugby playing perspective, Jerome, it's a good tournament. We're seeing a lot of Springboks actually have started their career in the Varsity Cup.
Yeah, definitely, JP. And I mean, the exposure that the guys get. If you look at the guys moving or getting into the Vodacom Cup now, it's all that players who play there just because of the exposure. I see the captain of CUT, Ines, he's going to play for the Griffins this week. So in the 8th man of MMNU is going to be involved with Kings in the Vodacom Cup. So the exposure that the guys get, and a guy like Taz and Vaslani, he's playing Western Province Vodacom Cup now, and he's had a good game last week. So the exposure that the guys get, and it is a great tournament. So the more exposure the guys get, same with the club community cup that's finished now. The exposure that the guys make it so much easier because there's some games that you can't see. So you see all of them on TV every week and every Monday. So it's a great competition.
That is, of course, the end of the Varsity Cup season. We'll have to wait another year to see what happens there. It is going to be pretty exciting, though, and I think a lot of people are now gearing up more and more for that part of the season. But don't forget, your league season is still the foundation of what rugby is about in South Africa, so make sure you don't lose focus on that. We're going to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at what's happening in Super League A and Super League B as we get the ball rolling with the season. And I'm happy to say that this weekend, for the first time in the history of Western Province Club Rugby space, we were trending. #WP Club Rugby was trending in South Africa on Saturday. I'll touch more on that a little bit later. We'll be back with you guys in a second.
Hi, I'm Kobani Bobo, and you're watching Cape Rugby TV.
Welcome back, folks. Yes, of course, Cape Rugby TV at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays. And you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And we look forward to having you on the show that focuses on Club Rugby in Western Province. Right, time for us to start taking a look at those results. This weekend, of course, we were out at SK Woomers against Belhar. We'll touch on that in a second. The first couple of games started off then. It was SK Woomers and Belhar. 17-15 win there for SK Woomers, pulling off a 2-point win in the very last couple of seconds. Helderberg with a 1-point win over Tygerberg, 22 points to 21. Villages, well, they went down to hands and hearts. Welcome to Super League B. It's not as easy down there. Primrose, 20 points to 3 over Brackenfell, and Kells River, 65 over Goodwood. Gentlemen, before we start with the SK Woomers Belhar game, Helderberg and Tygerberg, two good sides. They've played against each other before. Mr. H, it just goes to show once again that these guys are ready to play in Super League A.
Yeah, no, I was a bit surprised by the result, but it shows, you know, that Helderberg has been doing their homework. And, I mean, it's the first game, but Tygerberg should worry, you know, about the fact that the team that comes from the bottom or lower league come and beat them in the first opening game of the season.
Surely just a once-off though for Tygerberg.
Yeah, well, we hope so. Yeah.
Jerome, what do you make of that scenario, Tygerberg and Helderberg?
No, look, JP, I always said like the difference between Super A and Super B is not that big. If you look at all the results, the guys coming up, beating the guys who's been playing up in the Super A for quite a while. And I've spoken to Ricky Peterson, their coach, and he said it wasn't easy because Tygerberg, if you look at the results, Tygerberg came out there firing, and it was till the end they had to fight to win. So it's a great result for them, and I mean, Ricky, last year he was director of coaching, now he's coaching again. So he's doing well. He's doing well there with the Helderberg, and Tygerberg. He said Tygerberg's got this year. They've got a big pack of forwards, and they've changed their style a bit.
Did he tell you? Did he give you any secret tips there? What's Tigerberg's style this year?
No,
Helderberg. Helderberg. You mean Helderberg has got a big pack of forwards?
No, Tigerberg.
Tigerberg. Because I was about to say, I don't think Helderberg's pack of forwards can get any bigger.
No, they've got a big pack, but Tigerberg, he said Tigerberg's pack were bigger than them. So they changed their style a bit, because they're known for running rugby over the years. So they pick and go and play a lot with the forwards, he said.
I thought you said Pitt can go and play, but you say pick and go with the forwards.
Maybe Pitt must go in.
Yeah, well, of course, we're talking about Peter Jooste there, the president of Tigerberg, a legend in his career as rugby and having so closely looked after Tigerberg Rugby Football Club as well. Quite frankly, folks, if you're out in the Tigerberg area, you can be glad that you've got a leader like that out there. Those are the kind of inspirational leaders that you need in the club rugby space and helps you keep the club alive. You know, you need people who are going to fight for your rights. Anyway, we're not going to get into the whole how you make your club work scenario. Of course, the big game that we went to over the weekend was SK Warmers against Belhar. And it was a first for SK Warmers. They come right out of the Community Cup, and they're, of course, at their new track, so to speak. Now, it is still the track, and they've got a great new stadium there. We went to catch some of the highlights in the match between SK Warmers and Belhar. Let's see what happened. A 2-point win for SK Warmers over Belhar. Belhar did not hold back much though. Jerome, if we look at that match there, SK Warmers came out of the Community Cup. A lot of people expect them to be very strong, and they're playing good rugby. But it looks like Belhar are just as ready for any of the teams that played either in the Varsity Cup or in the Community Cup. I mean, if I use this as an indication of the other clubs.
Yeah, definitely, JP. It just showed the strength of our club in the club system, in the rugby that we play. Yeah, I mean, they came from the Community Cup. They've done fairly well in the Community Cup. And, I mean, Belhar hasn't played a lot of games. They played a few warm-up games. And SK was busy from last year, pre-season, play a lot of games and play in the Community Cup. So Belhar have done well, and I mean they were fortunate, I think, or unfortunate not to have taken more points. They could have easily beaten Team SK at their home field. But I think SK was a bit relaxed also because they think that they've been playing and they've been training and things like that. And then a team comes out and put them under pressure there, which normally doesn't happen at the track.
Morgs, you were of course at the game with me, SK against Belhar at the track. Your feeling?
Yeah, James, look, I mean, what the teams are playing in this Community Cup and Varsity Cup must understand is that they're actually easier to be analysed now because we've seen them play 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
so I think the guys at Belhar definitely went out and did their homework. And yeah, I mean, look, I think Balal were very unlucky there. They could have definitely put on. They let two or three, sort of very close tries go astray. So, but then they obviously scored a good long range try. So, yeah, Balal definitely. I mean, after having seen that performance, they look like a team that's gonna be hard to beat at their home ground, and they might pick up 1 or 2 wins away from home too.
The one thing that was quite evident in that game is that if you feed the ball to the wings, you're going to score.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, as soon as the game got loose, I mean, then we really started seeing the likes of Zaire Rylands, Kakalaki on the wing there, and the gentleman that actually got man of the match. I mean, we ended up seeing them and the sort of their elusive running and all those kind of things. So, no, they've take the ball wide. I think that's the answer to Super League, eh?
Jerome, I've got to come to you. I've got to ask you, in one of the times there during the game, and as I said, Marius van der Westhuizen ref the game. So maybe you can give us a little bit of information from a technical point of view, from the law's point of view. There was a penalty try awarded to SK Warmers and a yellow card at the same time. And it was given to the 8th man after a scrum on the dead ball line. Now, we didn't quite get the reason, but Morgan said to me he was very surprised by this. Why would the 8th man get a yellow card in a scrum and a penalty try?
Yeah, that's difficult. I mean, I don't know if it wasn't a warning or whatever. Normally, if they collapse the scrum.
But how would an 8th man collapse? How does an 8th man collapse the scrum?
While they go forward, it's normally a penalty try because otherwise you must send the whole pack off.
If you collapse the scrum.
Yeah, if they collapse, you can't penalize. You can't send one guy off.
But then that's the we had this in the Super 15. I mean, how do you give a penalty try or a yellow card? I suppose this is where we have to get a referee in, and probably Marius van der Westhuizen, who was there on the day. But I'm trying to understand, how do you give a penalty or a yellow card to an individual in a scrum for a technicality like that? Because, like you say, how do you identify?
No, I think you can, if they can see it's either the tight head or the loose head dropping unpurposely, drop on his side. Then, but the 8th man, unless he pulled everything down.
You see, this is one of those technical scenarios of it can become quite a difficult assessment. I mean, we looked at that trial. We thought, how is it possible that this 8th man, if it was a scenario of that they collapsed the scrum? Very tricky, and I think we're going to take a look at this penalty try scenario, collapsing the scrum, and how it is that you identify an individual in the scrum as to be the culprit. Because we did in the Super 15 see a yellow card to, I think, to the tight head or the loose head in one of the Super 15 games. Also a collapsing the scrum scenario, but very difficult to identify that. So we'll get the referees in here and we'll find out what they have to say. Of course, we caught up with Mark Willard. He's the assistant coach at Belhar, and we had to see what he had to say. Unfortunately, Belhar the losing side on the day, and we spoke to captain and coach first. Christo, didn't go the way you wanted it, eh?
Not at all. But I'm proud of the boys. We came out. We told ourselves that we're going to give it a good shot. SK is a very good team. They came from Community Cup now, good challenge. They performed well, so we know we had to come out and give our best.
How are you going to prep for the rest of the season?
We have to go back on Monday and work hard, stick to what we want to do, enforce our game plan, and then just play the ball wide. That's our game plan. That's where our strength lies.
Well, it sounds like you've got a game plan at least. So, listen, I know it didn't go your way, but at least you guys came out strong. And if this is the standard of rugby we're going to see during the rest of the season, I think we're up for a good season.
I think we're positive. We got a new team. This year we want to build with a lot of young guys coming in. I think the youngest guy on our team is about 18 years old. So we want to build a young team that can play good, positive rugby.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Mark, finally the season is underway, and it didn't go your way, but the guys were looking in good shape.
Yeah, I see it was a plucky performance from us. We basically just wanted to have a good start. The guys wanted to play, and that we could have seen that on the field today.
Now, the other guys have had a bit of preparation, Community Cup and Varsity Cup. Do you think it's starting to show on the field? You guys certainly stood your ground today.
Yeah, I see that this game is mental, and we wanted to play, and that was the difference today. I think we had a bit of, they were a bit ahead of us. We had a good start, a couple of more games. We basically just wanted our friendlies just to get to know the new guys, and I think we done well today.
And the team is gelling. You say you got a couple of new guys?
Yeah, we have lost almost about 70% of our team. So it's a rebuild for us this year, and it's something to look forward to. Yeah, we basically just want to give new guys a go. We go for this year for more depth to make our seconds a bit stronger. And yeah, this is our first game. I think it's a good start for us.
It looks like it's well done and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, there we go. Mark Willard, of course, the assistant coach at Belhar, and Irvin October, the head coach there at Belhar. But we spoke to Mark and Christo Steenbok, the captain. Mr. H, do you think that the clubs are putting too much pressure on themselves to come away with wins?
No, I think, everybody wants to win. I mean, that's why you're in the game. But Bella, as Jerome said, they must have put a lot of effort in. Playing with 13 men at one stage, having a penalty try against you. If you take that out of the equation, they could have won the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's club rugby, the passion,
Because
winning is everything.
Well, it's exactly what you say, because I tell you, the thing that stuck out for me was the absolute disappointment on the team's faces and the coaches' faces after the game.
Yeah, I think when you walk away there, and you know that you could have won the game, that makes it, even worse.
Well, talking about absolute disappointment, let me tell you something. The guys from SK Warmers were also not totally thrilled with their performance. They walked away from that game thinking, or at least saying, that they could have done much better on the day. And we, of course, caught up with them after the game, the winning captain and coach. Let's see what they had to say. Nani, close game.
I think it was a close game. We kind of wanted a better result out of this, but I mean, when you come up against opposition in the Super League, you don't get no easy game. So we kind of expected a tough game, but we'll take the win, no doubt. We'll start off on a good note there. Start the season off on a good note.
Do you think you've had a bit of an advantage playing in the Community Cup? The guys must be comfortable playing with each other. Other teams still have to get used to it.
I think we do have an advantage in the fact that we played better opposition preparing for the league. That's the advantage we have, but at the same time, we also at the disadvantage where our guys have played before, and it was like four intense games, and we've got a couple of injuries here and there. So, but yeah, we look forward to the rest of the season.
Well, the stand is looking great, and as usual, the fans are out here to support you guys. Looking forward to playing a season with such great facilities.
I mean, it's good to be back on our actual home ground and not playing a sandpit over there we played for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
But in saying that, it's good to have our crowd. Our people always come out in numbers to support us, and that's the good thing about playing for this club. You feel at home, even though you're not from here. You feel at home, and they just take you in like you're one of our own, and that's the good thing. It will probably carry on for generation from generation, and that's the good thing we take from it.
Yeah, no, listen, well done. First win of the season, so congratulations, and we'll follow you guys' progress as we go. Close game.
Oh, very, very close. It was nail-biting, very nail-biting. Because I think if a team like this, like a derby match playing against other days, everybody don't want to make mistakes, and that's where actually the mistakes is coming in.
Die wind bietjie in julle vyver gespeel in die eerste helfte en toe sak hy.
Ja, nee, ons het gebruik gemaak van die wind eintlik, nie? En ek dink ons moet ons paal toe geskop het om die punte te gekry het. Want as jy speel met 'n team soos die Ketchup Rugby, dan gaan hy voor by jou kom. Jy gee hom kans om by jou te as jy nie jou kanse vat.
Het julle verwag dat Bella so sterk gaan uitkom?
Ons het verwag van Bella op so sterk uitkom, want almal sy vriendskaplike wedstryde het maar net gewen teen die onder bottom teams. En hulle het baie goed uitgekom vandag, en ek dink as dit tyd van gelykheid wil ons gaan wen.
Ja, luister, well, first win of the season, well done.
Well, that's most important, the 4 points for the boys.
Nani Osman there, clearly very experienced. He's been playing for SK Warmers for quite a while now. Mr. H, a talented flower.
Very talented, but they are in good hands, Karim Razdin was one of the best when he played. So they're in good hands.
And a great gentleman, Jerome.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just said to Mr. H now, it's you can just hear how passionate he is, and definitely he's gonna work them this week.
Yeah, you think he's gonna be? Do you think he's gonna be hard on the guys?
I think they're gonna go up the Boerkaap, up that steep hill. They're gonna do it a few times this week.
But the thing about Karim though is he really is a gentleman. You know, and I mean, Morgs, you would know him because we of course met him in the VUCA tournament.
Yeah, no, look, he's definitely one of the softest spoken with a guy with a presence, you know. So I think he'll have a good impact on that SK Warmers guys, and you can see that with the performances in the Munich Cup and going through the league.
Well, at least now I'm not now so sure if it was it VUCA or was it at the City Park?
Yeah, he's involved in
the kids.
He's involved all over.
Yeah.
He's also the Let's Play program. He's
that's
involved in VUCA. Yeah.
So he really is. He's involved at quite a few levels there, Morgs.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, he's involved with. You can see he's involved with from the grassroots. You know, coaching the kids sort of the real basics to involve with the Super League A team. So,
but you can probably relate to what Jerome was just saying about running the Boer Cup, because I can imagine at Marty's they made you run the Bergpas a few times.
Yeah, no, that Bergpad is no joke. So I think that the Marty's after the performance against Tuks are probably still running it.
They're still running it. Yeah, no, I've got some intimate knowledge of the Bergpas myself. Not the most friendly of scenarios. But we did also have a man of the match. Of course, every week we managed to give away 1,000 Rand, courtesy of Tata Oostenburg and Tata Paul and Ivan Lindner over there. So 1,000 Rand to a club rugby player, which we think is absolutely amazing to be able to reward a club rugby player for playing such good rugby. And this week, our Tata man of the match was none other than the man himself, Idris Arendse. Idris, you are our Tata man of the match today. You win 1,000 Rand, courtesy of Tata. You're no stranger to crossing the white line. Good win. You must be happy with your performance.
Very happy because it's my first game in 6 months due injury, and I'm just happy to be on the pitch and enjoy a full 80 minutes of rugby.
You happy with the standard of rugby? You've played up there.
It's always great playing in the Super League A games on the track, and for the community, because the people is so welcoming and so loving. But first, I would just like to thank my Allah for granting me the strength and the courage to stay positive and just keep on believing in myself.
Well, we do have 1,000 Rand for you. This is one of those golden opportunities where a community cup or a community club player gets 1,000 Rand. And this is, of course, the Tata man of the match moment. And with me is from Tata Oostenburg and Paul is Ivan Lindner. And I'm going to ask Ivan to come across and hand the check over to you. And he'll shake hands with you. Congratulations. And we see, folks, it's 1,000 Rand, courtesy of Tata. And good performance there. SK Warmers coming away with their first win. Ivan, you must be happy with this result.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Idris, well done. I've watched you the whole afternoon. I see some great potential in you.
Here we go, folks. 1,000 Rand, courtesy of Tata Oostenburg and Paul. And remember, if you want to get yourself a Manzo or an Ace, well, then you know where to go. That's a wrap. It is $1,000 for community rugby. It's fantastic. Cheers, bye-bye. Idris Arendse walking away with 1,000 Rand there, man of the match for SK Warmers. Jerome, Idris has been around for a while. He's got some great skills outside.
Yeah, he was a bit unfortunate to have an injury like earlier in the season. He had a shoulder, a scope on his shoulder. But it's good to see he's back, and he'll definitely be back in the mix with the Vodacom Cup again. And also with the amount of injuries, you never know, he might be up with the Stormers also one of these days.
We, of course, managed to catch up with Ivan Lindner. As you know, he gives 1,000 Rand, courtesy of Tata Oostenburg and Tata Paul. And we thought we'd put a face to the face, so to speak. If this was radio, we'd say put a face to the voice. But let's see who the man is behind Tata, who every week donates 1,000 Rand to Tata Man of the Match. Folks, as you know now, this is our second year running where we're giving 1,000 Rand Man of the Match prize on a weekend basis to a club playing for Western Province. And of course, the man in charge at Tata is Ivan Lindner. And I think it's time we put a face to the voice, so to speak, or face to the face. Ivan, it's again, you're with SK Warmers, 1,000 Rand to a club player. It's a great community initiative on your side.
Absolutely, and you know, especially if one watches the game this afternoon, I think it was a lot of emphasis one must consider. It's only the starting phase, and the starting phase is normally the difficult phase. But I think the boys have put it well together at this stage. I further believe our commitment in terms of, as you say, weekend, one can call it a bit of a handout. It's an encouragement to that youngsters to actually get on in life and see that there are potential for them. And if they grab the opportunity, Tata, I can assure you, will always be there. We are here to stay. 7.5 years later, we're still in the country. We've never repudiated any claims whatsoever in terms of that. I think it's important for people to know the more we get in terms of our business, we can surely plow back into your business. And JP, I'm sure you'll believe life works like that.
100%. What you put in is what you get out. And I think, Ivan, from a Cape Rugby TV point of view, you've supported us now for 2 years. And we know that, of course, you're a keen supporter of Cape Town TV. But this has made an enormous difference in the lives of club rugby. And really what it has done is helped us take club rugby to another level. So from a Cape Rugby TV point of view, we want to say a massive thank you.
It's absolutely a pleasure, JP. Thank you very much.
There we go, folks. Look out for the Tana Man of the Match. Every weekend, one lucky player from a club in Western Province walks away with R1,000. That's a wrap from us. We'll see you guys after the break. Ivan Antar, thank you very much. That donation to Club Rugby is very much appreciated. There were some other games in Super League A and Super League B that we just need to touch on there. Most notably, I suppose, well, not most notably, but let's take a look at some of the interesting things there, because I think a lot of people have been looking at focusing on who moved down in Super League A, but Super League A, B, at least now, Villagers have come down, as you see there, losing to Hands on Hearts in their very first game in the league. Primrose beating Brackenfell 20 points to 3. Kales River 60 points to 5 over Goodwood. Mr. H, it seems like it's getting worse and worse for Villagers, and they're going to have to get back their old style of playing and their old culture very quickly. Because here they come down to Super League B, they're playing against Hands and Hearts, they come from Super League A, which is a better, tougher, bigger league, and Hands and Hearts immediately show them who's boss.
Yeah, and if you take into consideration that Hands and Hearts ended about 9th or 8th in that group,
yeah,
then it's a very worrying factor.
Jerome, why would that be? Why would Hands and Hearts come out and beat Villagers so bad, or, so convincingly, or is Villagers really struggling to get it right?
Yeah, it's sad to see. I mean, if Villagers can just take a leave out of the cap of Falsby and see what they've been doing. I mean, they've still positive, and they've got a good bunch of players there. So it's sad to see. Like I just hope they don't give up, because it can only get worse if they don't do something immediately in terms of the players and in terms of what they do. Get the right guys in there, and also the old guys, the ex-players, get involved there and help them a bit, because I think they desperately need help now.
I was extremely disappointed to hear the tone of voice, and I know that they lost badly against Hamilton's, but the tone of the players in the back line was a little bit negative. They didn't seem to quite have that fighters fight to the death instinct that you need when you're against the ropes. And Morgs, I mean, you were there. Hamilton's beating Villagers. It was a massive win for them. We know it was always going to be tough on the day, but you need to be having that attitude, that never say die attitude, no matter how bad things go.
Yeah, look, James, I think they really are struggling, but yes, I think if they adapt the attitude that their coach has, then I think they shouldn't have a problem. Rito Shlangwani is really putting in the hard work, and is really going the extra mile for the side. And I mean, I spoke to him a while ago, and he said to me that they really are struggling, and they've lost all the players that they're playing there at the moment. None of them have ever played first team, so he's dealing with a bunch of guys that are have played seconds and thirds at all the different teams that have come there now. So yeah, I mean, with the right attitude, and if they follow suit of the coach, they shouldn't have a problem. But yeah, it's a long road for them, I think.
Let's take a look now at the results in Premier League A. The Seat Collegians 45 points to 7 over Macassar. Kraaifontein 48-18 over LC. Spinel Villagers losing to Silurian 64 points to 12. And Paarl, well, it was a 1 point win for them, 25-24 over Rangers. Mr. H, if we look at Collegians, a solid win for them, but they know what it means to be a winning side. They've been up in the higher leagues, and that culture of playing winning rugby for them, even though they've dropped down now to another league, that culture for them is probably still there.
Yeah, no, they don't give up easily, and they'll fight back, to come out of that section again. But it must have been quite a shock for Macassar. They were playing good rugby last season, and they came up. But it shows the difference between the leagues. One coming down, one coming up. It's actually a 3-league difference.
Yes.
And then you see what happens. And but I suppose Macassar will also fight back. And if you look at Silurians, for instance, again, they also came up, but they showed what their intentions are. They are going to.
Well, Solarians is an extremely good side, but interesting enough that you mentioned Macassar, because Macassar beat Solarians once or twice last year.
Yeah.
So the other result there, of course, Kraaifontein 48-18 over Elsie Shafir. That would have been almost like a little bit of a derby match if you want to think about it in that sense. But yes, this weekend, if you want to know where we are, Kales River, at least Kraaifontein. Kraaifontein take on Scottsdene at Scottsdene. And there you see now, it's going to be a big one because look at Kraaifontein's result there, 48 points to 18 over Elsie Shafir. Mr. H. Kraaifontein would have been wanting, at least Elsie's would have been wanting a better start there. They would have come up with blocks running.
No, I'm sure that that is not the result that they wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, you know, it's the first game of the season. It's a long season. There's still 17 matches.
Mark Willard, is he still coaching at Penil Villages? At least not Mark Willard.
Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, he's still there.
Still coaching at, it would have been a tough one for him taking such a hiding against Solarians.
Yeah, but I think, you know, Mark would also have known that what is coming. Because Solarians is a class outfit.
They are a class outfit. The likes of Earl Rose, Morgs, you've played with Earl, playing at Solarians. We've seen him play at club level. Your feeling on Solarians and their prospects for the season?
No, look, I mean, I know that I happened to bump into a few Solarians fans about a week ago.
Let me guess, they got the start with the L and the P?
Yeah, the Perenzi brothers.
The Perenzi brothers.
And yeah, they were definitely, they've got some high hopes for their team this year. So yeah, I think that Solarians will quickly be rising up into, you know, the sort of Super League B and Super League A. Right,
let's take a look now at the results in Premier League B. And there you see Eerste Rivier beating Van der Stel 40 points to 23. Langa 24-15 over Manenberg Rangers. Young People's beating Strand 39-26. Strand United 31-27. Loss for them against Milnerton. In Division 1, Stelkor going down to Atlantis 30-17. Rocklands, it was a loss for them against Silverleaf 24-20. Caledonian Roses 43-27 over the Blue Jets. All Saints, well, they went down to Masiphumelele 29 points to 22. And of course, we'll take a look now at Division 3, and there you see Temperance. Well, they went down to Richmond Rangers, 34-26. Perseverance victory for them over Whistling Wheels. Strand Pioneers, 27-23 over Peninsula. Clutiesville drawing with Retreat. Progress drawing with Thistle. And Khayelitsha, 30 points to 12 over Titans. Well done to them. Albions, well, they went down to Vineyards, 51-12. Young Gardens beating Paarl Rangers. Young Standards, it was a massive win for them, 96-8 over Peril United. Allendale going down to Violets. Vintmel United losing to Riverstone. Simondium losing to Lower Paarl. And in the Summonsburg region, at least this is now the farm region, Lamotte beating Excelsior 30 points to 10. So a couple of more results there in the farm region, and an interesting region that, or at least the farm league, so to speak, but it's called the Simonsburg region. And nice to see that the farm workers themselves, who are on farms and play rugby on the farms with fields there and are very much supported by the owners of the farms, have now got a league of their own, and that is the Simonsburg region. So well done to them. But the notable result there in the Paarl region, Mr. H, was Young Standards, 96 points to 8 over Peril United. I mean, last year we saw, I think, Peril United in the bottom of the log, and we said that they're going to have to really turn things on. But Young Standards, what a result.
Yeah, no, and Young Standards, obviously, you know, they must be very pleased with that result. But I think really, you know, Peril United obviously doesn't belong in there. Maybe in time to come they will have to shift to the Simonsberg region or something.
Is there any possibility that they can merge with another team?
Yeah, well
I suppose
that's always a possibility.
Yeah.
That they can still do it. But there are other clubs in that area, other farm clubs that perhaps can join up with them and make them stronger. But it doesn't look good for them.
Well, it doesn't look good for a while now for Peril United, but some of the other teams coming out with strong victories there. I know it's too early in the season to look at the logs, but I know that many of you are already looking at the logs. Jerome, dis bietjie te vroeg om na die logs te kyk, nee, maar ons moet nog steeds kyk, nee.
Jy moet kyk vir alles jou span wen.
Ja.
Seker maak jy het jou 5 punte.
Nou kom ons maak net so. Kom ons check net gou hoe lyk die logs nou. Daarso sien ons nou in Super League A. Sommer daar uit die starting blocks uit is Helderberg. Helderberg's in first place, SK Woomers in second place. In Super League B, we see False Bay on top there, and Kales River also on 5 points, both of them in first and second place. In Premier League A, we see Silurians on the top, and Altia's Collegians also are sharing first place there, together with Kraaifontein and Paarl. And Premier League B, we see Eerste Rivier on the top, Young People's, Milnerton and Langa, all sharing the top 4 spots. And in Division 1, it's Busy Bees in the top, sharing with Atlantis, while in Division 2, we see Caledonian Roses sharing first and second place with Masi Pumulele. Division 3, it's Richmond Rangers, level pegging with Strand Pioneers. And in Division 4, it's Kailicha on top there, and they're doing pretty well. While in the Paarl region, it's Young Standards firmly on the top, and Vineyards and Riverstones and Lower Paarl. Remember, folks, of course, there is a scenario of points difference. So those are your divisions. We'll take a look at some of the fixtures in a couple of minutes' time. But those are your divisions. Well done to the guys that are on top. It is a little bit early, and I know you're very excited about that, but nevertheless, congratulations to you guys for coming out in the first place.
JP, that first place now could be the inspiration for that club to try and be there next week again and the following week, you know. And that's why perhaps it's good that the club uses that in the, you know, in the practices and says, guys, look here, look where we are. You know, even if it's only one game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's take a look at the fixtures now. Tygerberg are up against Belleville at Florida Park. Remember, folks, this is on Friday. The Stormers are playing in Newlands. I think is one of the reasons why the matches have been moved. But Tygerberg are up against Belleville at Florida Park. Steinhoff Vics take on Durban at Craven Stadium. That's also on Friday night. Kick-off at 9 o'clock for both those games. On Friday, it's SK Warmers against Marties at the track. And Hamilton's take on Helderberg at Hamilton's, and that is on Saturday. That's your only Super League A match on Saturday. Hamilton's against Helderberg. That's going to be a tough start for both teams getting started in Super League A. So I think that's Morgs, Hamilton's and Helderberg. It's the first game of the season. Eh?
Yeah, look, it's the first game of the season for Hamilton's. Obviously, the second one for Helderberg. So yeah, we will look to getting the season off to a good start. But after seeing Helderberg's result against Tygerberg, we definitely won't be taking them lightly.
But you guys have there has been a scenario of the Varsity Cup teams, the Community Cup teams have had a bit of a run, but if I look at Hamilton's during the season, you've had a tremendous amount of game time. You had an Argentinian side that you played against, you played the Villagers Derby, you played the Westbank team. You guys at Hammies, you've had a fair amount of run on.
No, look, I think starting already in Cape Town 10s back in January, sort of in early February, we've really had quite a bit of rugby. So yeah, I think all the jitters and the sort of cobwebs are all out now, and we can hit the ground running come Helderberg on Saturday.
Let's take a look now at the fixtures in Super League B. More excitement, Brackenfell against NNK, Goodwood take on Primrose, Hamlets take on Kales River, Hands and Hearts take on False Bay, UWC and Villages, Rangers and St. George's, Silurians, Collegians, Elsies and Peniel Villages, and Scottsdene and Kraaifontein. So there you go, Scottsdene and Kraaifontein. That is your fixture of the weekend. That is where we're going. It is going to be a derby match. You can know that there's going to be a stack of people out there. So if you want some good entertainment, Scottsdene at home, taking on Kraaifontein, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Jerome, we can expect a lot of people at this game because they live so close to each other. You can almost walk to the field at Scottsdene.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a lot of people there. And I mean, there's also always a great vibe. And Kraaifontein also, I think they have a lot of support. So it's going to be a good game. And it's going to be, Kraaifontein has got their points this past week. So I think Scottsdene is going to look for points.
So that's where we are this weekend, folks. It is Scottsdene against Kraaifontein. Make sure that you get out there. It is time for us to now give you an opportunity to win for yourself a bed and breakfast night's accommodation at the Strand Towers. SMS the word leisure and your name to 33280, and you can put yourself in the mix to win a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. So that's all you need to do, the word leisure to 33280, and there you see it on your screen right now. One night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Just SMS the word leisure and your name to 33280. We're going to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll start taking a look at what's happening in the world of Super 15, and we'll take a look at Super Brew before we wrap it up. Back with you in a mo. Let's take a look at the Super 15 results now. There you see the Brumbies, well, there was a surprising win, point score, 28-28 against the Kings. The Blues, it was a 29-18 win over the Highlanders. The Sharks, 21-17 over the Crusaders. What a win there. Go Sharks. The Cheetahs, 26-24 against the Stormers. Force, 23-30 loss for them against the Rebels. And the Hurricanes, 41-29 win over the Waratahs. Some surprising results there. Mr. H, the Brumbies drawing with the Kings.
Yeah, that was, I mean, from what, if you go back to what we predicted, you know,
Yes, no, from what we predicted, it clearly went completely south. The others, I suppose, what surprising results there, and in this case, I will be a Crusaders fan because I am never a Sharks fan. So tonight, for the purpose of the last result, where the Sharks went down, I am a Crusaders fan.
Okay.
Okay, you guys don't mind that, eh? No, I'm sure you don't.
That's highly debatable, James. After your last comments, I'm a bit worried about that statement.
No, but you see, you've got to put it into context, because it is a free country, you know, and I can, of course, support whoever I want to, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Because quite simply, you know, my history and my heritage, I have never supported the Sharks. You understand? So that's the reason that I support the Crusaders. So what I'm doing is I'm giving a motivation for my support.
It's not the reason why you have that red.
No, I'm not wearing the red because I'm a Crusaders fan. No, I'm wearing the red because it's the red of the Dizer. None of you believe me. Hey, hoe rek ek nou 'n kort toukie lank, joh. Anyway, yeah, of course, the Sharks beating the Crusaders was a miraculous win, and the kind of thing we are a little bit disappointed in, but it's tough for Alistair at the moment. He's got a lot of injuries. Yakutata, the biggest knock again for the Stormers, but the Cheetahs are really, Jerome, they're playing out of their socks at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, everything is just going well for them. I mean, bounce of the ball, penalties at the right time. I've spoken to Damien Talenda, and I asked him because you could clearly hear the ref said hands off. Jacques Ninaber, the defensive coach, was right there. Get your hands off, and the ref called a couple of times. But he just said he tried, but for some reason he couldn't get his hands off.
But I don't understand that rule either. I mean, I understand that, well, it's not the player who's trying to release the ball. It's not his fault, so it must be someone else's fault. So it can only go to the one way or the other way. It's like a car accident. If you're behind the wheel and you make the accident, well, it's not the pedestrian's fault. The blame has to go one way or the other. But that was unfortunate. It was in the dying minutes. Technically, the Stormers know the rules better than anybody else. And their lender coming out there, really a tough call for him.
Yeah, but look, he said that it could have gone either way because they had support and he was alone at the back. So he went for the ball. He said he heard the ref said it, but he couldn't get his hands off. But if they got that ball free, they could have easily gone and score also. But I think the problem there, JP, it actually started at that scrum.
Yeah.
10 seconds left. They couldn't win the ball, tight it to the Cheetahs, and so it wasn't anybody's fault. It started at that scrum. It's a set first thing. It's unfortunate for the Stormers.
Yeah, Evox is of course the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. If you want to win for yourself a Synergy Whey Protein, and you'll see the competition up on the screen right now. If you want to win yourself a Synergy Whey Protein, then there you see it, the Synergy Whey Protein. SMS your name and answer us. What is the official sports nutrition supplier? Who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers? So let's take a look at the fixtures now in the Super 15. And there we see it's the Highlanders up against the Brumbies, the Chiefs and the Reds, the Blues, the Hurricanes, the Rebels, the Kings, the Force, the Crusaders, the Stormers, the Sharks, the Bulls, the Cheetahs. There is so much rugby now. Super Brew prediction time it is. Have you made your Super Brew predictions? Let's take a quick look at that. Morgs, Highlanders and the Brumbies.
I'm going to go Brumbies on the bounce back. Brumbies by 5.
Brumbies by 5. Jerome?
Highlanders by 6.
Mistake?
Brumbies 5.
Brumbies by 5. I'm going to go with Brumbies by 7. Chiefs and the Reds. Morgs?
It's going to be a tough one. My Chiefs at home. I'll go Chiefs by 7.
Jerome?
Chiefs by 12.
Mistake?
Chiefs 7.
I'm going to go with the Reds by 9. The Blues and the Hurricanes. Morgs?
Blues by 3.
Hang on, did I just say I'm going to go with the Reds by 9? That was the Chiefs by 9, sorry. But you're going with the Blues by 3.
3.
Gerard?
Blues by 5.
But you're a big Hurricane supporter.
Shocked.
No, but I mean you are, because we had Mark Hammett out here last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could see physically firsthand when he was at UWC just how much skill these players have got.
Yeah. So what, JP?
You're still going to go with the Blues?
Are you going with the Hurricanes?
Well, you can't use my tips. So what is it? Is it the Blues or Hurricanes?
It's the Blues, JP. It doesn't really matter because my Super Brew predictions, it can go anyway.
Yeah, no, me and you are on the same page on that one. Mr. H.
Blues 10.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Blues. How much you say, Jerome?
Blues by 5.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Blues by 5. The Rebels take on the Kings, Morgs.
I'm going to go...
This is a one-day game, eh?
Rebels 3.
Jerome.
Force 5.
Mr.
Play
H?
the Kings.
Sorry, man. Kings 5.
The Kings by 5, Mr. H.
King 7.
At least you still got a little bit of compass mentis, thank heavens, while you've got it. The Rebels and the Kings. I'm going to go with the Rebels by 9. The Force and the Crusaders, Morgs.
Crusaders 25.
Jerome, without huffing and puffing like a horse.
Crusaders 12.
Mr. H?
Crusaders 15.
Crusaders by 9 for me. The Stormers and the Sharks, Morgs.
Stormers 3.
Jerome?
JP, this is just an interesting stat, eh? I'm going to go for the Stormers, but Craig Joubert, the 10 games that he ref, the Stormers, they only won 3 out of the 10. So he is the guy that can decide who will win. But I'm still going to go with the Stormers by 7.
Same, Stormers 7.
Stormers by 7. I'm going to go with the Stormers by 12. The Bulls and the Cheetahs. Morgs.
I'm going to go for upset. I'm going to go Cheetahs.
Can we do this quicker, please? We're now this show's about to come to an end.
Cheetahs 5.
Cheetahs 5.
Bulls 3.
Cheetahs 10.
Morgs, you sure Cheetahs 5?
I'm sure of that.
Cheetahs by 5. Cheetahs and the Bulls. I'm going to go with the Bulls by 8. All right, then who was our Super Brew player? It was, of course, Jan Sali. Congratulations, Jan. You are the player, and Vitskip, you are the loser. This year's yellow cap goes to the Super Brew panel holder, and Jerome, you'll be surprised to know it is you, Meneer. Congratulations. You are the yellow cap holder. Not because you are the smartest, but because you climbed higher than anybody else. So well done.
JP, you must put in my predictions more.
Yeah. Ek het natuurlijk jouw predictions ingesit. It's club rugby time, folks. The season has started. The show is a little bit crazy tonight, but all great fun. Yes, Scottsdene and Kraaifontein. Come and say hello. Come and join us. That is the match where we're at this weekend. Remember, R1,000 man of the match up for grabs. That's a wrap from us. Morgs, we'll see you on the weekend.
Yep, see you on the weekend, James.
Jerome, Scottsdene, Kraaifontein.
See you on Kraaifontein, JP.
Mr. H.
Reg so, meneer.
Gaan lekker wees. Right, folks, there we go. And we'll see you on Saturday at Scottsdene. Bye-bye.